What's up, everyone? Welcome back to more The Evil Within 2. This is my Akumu difficulty video walkthrough, where there will be no keys, no damage. And when I say no keys, that doesn't mean I will not be collecting the keys. I'm going to be collecting the keys, showing you where the location's at. I'm just not going to be using them as an advantage to help me doing this walkthrough.
I know it's hard to accept.
This is chapter 2, entitled Something Not Quite Right.
Our little girl is
I try not to talk during a dialogue, so I'll let the dialogue play out, then I'll come right back.
I'll find out the truth on my own.
What the hell is this place?
Detective, we've got a call.
All units 1199. Spread cover code 3. Beacon networks.
What the?
Hello? Sebastian, are you there?
Kidman? What?
Snap out of it, Sebastian. You made it in safely. How are you feeling?
Terrible. Like the worst hangover ever.
Don't worry. It will pass once your mind has adjusted. You're in an area separate from the main system right now. That's how we're able to maintain communication with you. This construct is called your room. It's a safe zone that was formed from your own memories.
My memories, huh? If that's the case, then where are my wife and child? This place looks like my old office at Crimson City PD.
It was your subconscious that built it. You should ask yourself that question. Let's get down to business. We sent some information into your room. Do you see anything unfamiliar?
There are photos of a bunch of Mobius agents here. Your lost team, I assume.
That's them. Let us know if you locate any of them. You're our only line of communication into STEM. They're stuck in Union and searching for Lily too.
Union?
This STEM environment was designed to look and feel like a small town called Union.
Great. So your experts need rescuing too, huh?
If anyone can do it, it's you.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, but I'm only here to find Lily.
There's more info there. You should check it out before you go.
Baker. Team leader. He's the guy I should try to find first. Lily, your team, and now me. We're all stuck inside STEM. I still don't understand why you can't just take them all out of their pods and wake them up.
It doesn't work that way. Without a core, we're totally locked out of the system. To forcibly remove anyone from STEM at this point would kill them and leave their consciousness trapped inside there.
Great. Mobius has got some stellar backup plans.
Stating the obvious isn't going to speed things along. You need to find Lily. Otherwise she, you, and everyone else inside is going to die.
Harrison. Combat specialist, huh? Hopefully he can take care of himself. O'Neill. They must not have been expecting trouble if they sent in all these technicians. Sykes. A tech, but at least he has some small arms training. Hoffman. Psychology and surveillance. This one could be cagey.
When it comes down to the Mobius members, you only have to worry about the 3 that's on the right. The other 2 on the left will be already dead, so you don't have to worry about those guys.
Union, huh? Looks like Anytown, USA.
It was designed that way to keep the test subjects calm and relaxed.
Calm and relaxed. The exact opposite of Beacon.
What happened at Beacon was beyond our control.
It doesn't seem like you've got much control this time either.
Look, I don't know what you're going to encounter in there. If you need information, I'd suggest you try talking to some of the locals. You know, canvass the area. Just like you taught me back at KCPD.
You were never a real detective, Kidman.
And you're not a detective anymore. But let's try to do some detecting anyway, okay?
Sorry, I abruptly pressed that there, but all it was telling you was that you can change your outfits at that coat station there. And when you grabbing these slides here, there are a total of 11 of them. If you collect all 11, you get an achievement for talking to Kidman throughout the entire game. And these are just like a reminder of what Sebastian went through and what Mobius put him through.
Kidman, you there?
Always.
You wouldn't have told me about Lily if your damn machine didn't go on the fritz. I would have spent the rest of my life mourning her and you wouldn't have cared.
I cared, but I couldn't say anything. They would have killed me.
I'm not sure I believe you.
Why would I lie about that?
To manipulate me. To get me to perform like a good little soldier. You've lied to me before. Our whole friendship was built on a lie.
Okay, I get it. And I don't blame you for feeling that way.
You'll never know how I feel until you've lost your family.
I never had a family to lose. Just two people who brought me into this world and treated me like a burden instead of a daughter.
Better to have loved and lost? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. At least you had people who cared about you.
Point taken.
Each time you collect the photo slide and bring it back to the room here, you get green gel from the cat here.
Thanks, kitty.
Since there's a total of 11, you do the math there. But
Just like Beacon.
I'm not going to be collecting green gel because I'm doing this without upgrading anything. So no upgrades at all. Only thing I'm going to be doing in this game is gathering resources, ammunition for my guns. That's it. I will not be upgrading, so there will be no getting bullet increases, none of that.
Lily, what's wrong?
Paul's head is broke.
It's okay. Mom can fix it for you. She can fix anything.
Sebastian? What's wrong? Are you alright?
I've got a wonderful family. An amazingly smart and beautiful wife. Why wouldn't I be alright? Come here, Laura.
You've been working too hard. It's making you delirious. Are you sure you're not coming down with something?
Is this the right place?
Okay guys, once we get to this section here, we're going to be introduced to two enemies or two bosses. One's actual boss and one is like a stooge for that boss. And the main boss in this section will be Stefano. We actually don't fight him until later on in the game in chapter 8. And we're going to be introduced to one of his stooges, which is the Guardian. And we're going to be fighting her in chapter 3 roughly, but no, chapter 6 roughly. It loops together, chapter 6 through 8. And she's going to be chasing us quite a bit throughout this entire game. but she's pretty easy to take care of. I will be showing you that once we get up ahead. But this right here is one of Stefano's art pieces, and his canvas is human bodies.
That's one of the search team. Baker.
And that's another thing to take note of. His camera freezes you, it slows you down. And when you're fighting a guardian, you're going to have tripwires that set off those cameras, and those will slow you down, but those will also slow her down
Sadistic.
in the fight. You will see more of
Whoever
that
did
later
this
on in the
must have
game.
enjoyed it.
But take note of that, because once you fight Stefano, he does that exact same thing to you. But you can counter it by just running out of it. Don't stay in it at all.
Someone tried to block the way out. Or in.
Now, when comparing both games, I have my pros and cons with each game. The first game's pros are the monsters, the characters, and it's much more you can do. The story is pretty good, but it's all over the place in some ways, but it's still pretty good. Now, the pros with part 2, I think that I give the edge to the story just a little bit better in part 2, even though it's cliched, but it's better than the first one. Everything loops in together. Cons with part 2, to me, the monsters suck in this game. No creativity in none of the monsters, really. Like the bosses, I'm talking about bosses, as opposed to the first game's bosses. The first game bosses blows this game's bosses out of the water to me. The character models are okay in the second one, but I think they're better in the first one. So overall, they both good games, though. You can't go wrong with either or. But I recommend playing the first one first, then the second one. Now let's meet the boss, shall we?
What was that? Shit.
Now just move over to the left. Just stick to the cover and move left. Because if you stand up and get spotted, it will be instant death. There will be no running away, none of that. Because you don't know what Stefano can do once you start the game. So don't try to take an unnecessary death.
I gotta find a way out of here.
This is one of Stefano's art pieces entitled Rebirth. Now this guy has quite the mind with putting these figures together. And this is the Guardian right here. So just run around her and just make sure you sprint. Don't get stuck by no boxes or nothing, cause she will be on your ass. And try to conserve your stamina, cause if Sebastian gets tired, say goodbye.
Trapped in here. Or maybe not.
And she's going to be like that the entire game. Every time you encounter her, she's going to be very aggressive.
That thing.
So you have to be very aware of that. While you running, she's running. Be careful here, man. Make sure you step back, because you can take damage from this and you possibly will die. So just step back when she uses the saw. Once we get out of the vent here, we're going to be doing more running, and then we'll do some button mashing, and then that'll be the end of this section. And you'll be introduced to more items, such as the syringe that you should know from the last game, and the new pistol.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. What the fuck is going on here?
Now to regenerate your health, just stand still. This also works for the stamina also. You can also use the A button by tapping it to increase the movement of both bars.
Where were you when I needed you? Maybe this is the right place. Lily, I hope you're here.
This photo, I thought this was lost in the fire forever. I remember when we took this. Lily's breath smelled like cotton candy. Myra never looked more beautiful.
What did I get myself into? Kidman?
Sebastian, where have you been? We lost you.
I don't know. But it sure as hell wasn't a quaint little town. There's something bad happening in here, Kidman. Baker is dead. There's a killer running around in here, doing things that are... It's like Beacon all over again. What the fuck did you just send me into?
I don't know. We're in the dark out here. Baker was the team leader. If he's dead, that doesn't bode well for the rest of them. Keep searching around. The more info you gather, the more I'll be able to help you.
Yeah. Sure. Oh. Poor son of a bitch. Left here to rot like this.
They should have just took the body out of there and just burned it. Or buried it. One.
Don't worry,
Don't just let
Sebastian.
him sit there to rot.
It's just a small, quiet town. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be coming up on our first common infected, which are the Lost. And this Lost particular is very different from the rest of the Lost. For starters, we're not going to waste our ammo on her. We're just going to go directly upstairs, grab the extra amount of ammo, and wait for her to follow us up here. Then we're going to jump over the banister and then just leave out that way. But there also will be another haunted, well, not haunted, but another lost on the outside of the door. So just keep the door open so you can get him off his pattern for a while, and then hide in the bushes, and both of them will go inside the house. And that's the way you don't have to waste your ammo, and you can save it for later. Now we just sit here for a while everything blows over and wait for them to go inside the house. And that is a real effective strategy. You don't have to waste ammunition or time. Just get in and get out. And gather resources by opening these boxes here with some of the weakest swing animations in video game history. One of the reasons that loss didn't come at me immediately, because some of them, once they yell, they attract others in this game. I don't know if it's a glitch in the system to where they see you and you lose and you evade their line of sight, and then they don't see you no more. Then they just go back on a normal pattern. It's something weird there, but just take advantage of that anytime it happens.
Mobius members.
Now our main thing once we get our weapons is not to waste ammunition. So we're not gonna be wasting ammunition in this chapter at all. So we're gonna take these guys out stealthily. So the first guy you want to go after is the guy behind the truck on the left. So if you go after the guy that's eating the body right there on the right, the guy on the left will see you. Or the lost on the left. It can be a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. Lost. And also, do not hit this truck until you defeated all enemies in this section. So she's gonna look left, and then she's gonna look right. When she look right, I immediately go over to sneak attack. Sometimes they do that very often. They'll look left and they'll look right. And sometimes the game gives them the advantage or the awareness to know where you're at, and then they'll look left and right behind the cover or close to the cover that they know you're at, just so they can spot you. And I hate that the game gives them that. It really irks you, because it's such garbage. Like, but you will see more of that once you experience it. Akumu difficulty, hopefully watching this walkthrough would better your chances, but it's going to be tough. There's no walkthrough on YouTube that can help you not die, because you're going to die. But you walk up and take this guy out here, and you notice I did not grab any herbs back there, because we're not going to be needing them. We're not going to be upgrading any of our medical stuff at all, hence the no upgrade run. I shouldn't have to keep saying this, but in case somebody asks.
Hopefully that'll hold.
Just in case someone asked or comment why didn't I pick up the herbs back there, because I am not going to be crafting any more medical syringes throughout this game, throughout this walkthrough. This could possibly be the last medical syringe I get the entire chapter, the entire walkthrough, because they do not help you on Akumu difficulty at all. So guys, that was chapter 2. And I will see you guys in the next chapter. In chapter 3, we're going to be doing quite a few things, so it's going to be very long. Chapter 3 is one of the longest chapters in the game, because we're going to be setting ourselves up for further down in the game once we get to the other chapters. So I'll see you guys there. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll see you then. I'm out.